Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So there's just one notion of fairness which I'd like to just introduce so that you guys know that something like this is there, out there. So what I'll do is I'll again go back to indivisible setting. So you have discrete goods, and I'm talking about I'm talking about discrete fair division. Okay, by which I mean that I have, let's say, some n agents, and I have n indivisible or m indivisible goods. By which I mean that I can't really break any of it, right? So there's no money, just some indivisible goods. You need to allocate among n agents in some fair manner, right? It can be anything like, let's say, inheritance. A father has a painting, some land or something or the other. Okay, land wouldn't be there, that's a divisible resource, but some indivisible goods he has, he want to distribute among his sons and daughters in some fair manner, right? And so we saw that the notion of envy freeness may not exist here. The trivial case of one single good and two agents. We also saw that proportionality also, with the very same example, you can show that proportionality again may not exist, right? And then what uh, we went on to define a relaxation of envy freeness, which we called EF1, and we saw that it exists. It has two polynomial time algorithms as well, at least the two which we saw. One was round robin, other was envy graph, and that's it. We stopped at there, right? It's good to also do a relaxation of proportionality. Why leave it behind? So that is the notion, that is a fairness notion I'd like to introduce today. So which is called Maximin share, MMS. Yeah. So how is it defined? It's again very intuitively defined. So again, remember, proportionality again was like a thresholding conditions, right? What we wanted was every agent to at least get 1 by nth of his whole value of m goods, right? So that again was a thresholding fairness notion, because we didn't really care about, or we didn't really compare among agents the way we compared in envy freeness, right? Proportionality is a thresholding fairness notion, and maximin also would be of same flavor. So we say that in a location, let me denote it by A. So this is an allocation by which I mean that this make n bundles of, so n pairwise disjoint bundles of given n indivisible goods, right? So here, like, they are all disjoint, and all of them, when taken a union over all I, makes like this the whole m, like all indivisible goods. So this is just a partition, an n partition, if you may. So you're basically piling them up in bundles, and you're creating n bundles. So I'll say an allocation A is MMS fair if something like this happens. If I want like every agent let's say again by reindexing, I can say that agent I gets the bundle AI. I want that the value he is attaining from this particular bundle is at least some threshold. I don't know what, but I'll define it. Let's say mu I. And this happens for all agents I. Yeah. So I want them to have at least this much value, at least this much fair share value they should achieve. How am I defining mu I? Okay, again this is a very intuitive sort of definition. What you do is you take hint from cut and choose protocol, right? So what you do is you ask agent, let's say agent 1, and ask her that, okay, just divide these set of m goods and pile them up. You are the one who is piling, okay? Fine. So you make one, okay, no. So there are some goods here, which is let's say A1, this is bundle A1, this is let's say bundle A2, and so on and on. He makes some n partition, okay? And then, okay, this is, again, note that agent A1, he's doing this thought experiment, okay? He's not really doing it, but he's just thinking in his head, okay, if I make a pile of these m indivisible goods into n bundles, and he's the one, since he did this particular division, he will be the one to pick last, right? The way we saw in cut and choose, yes. Oh, that's what I'm defining right now. It's some threshold, and that's what I'm defining. Yeah. VIAI. VI of m, by the whole m, I mean that the valuation he has for all goods. So like this m is like all the sets. Yeah. Okay, let yeah, okay, yeah, we have been assuming additivity all along. Yeah. Additivity under of evaluation functions, and let's say this is of the whole set m. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So okay, why did I give this mu I? I was trying to show that, okay, proportionality was also some kind of thresholding fairness notion, and that's what I'm trying to do here as well with maximum share. I want every agent to get some threshold. What is it? What is that threshold? That's what I'm defining right now. So how do we define this threshold? Do this thought experiment. Agent 1 comes in, and he thinks, okay, if I do this particular piling up and I get to choose last, what is the utility I'll derive from this particular partition I done, like from this particular n partition. So if he's picking last, what is the utility he'll derive? Like it can be in worst case the minimum of his, let's say, V1 of overall bundles, right? It's possible that since he's choosing last, he might just end up with the worst case bundle according to his own valuation, right? So this is just a thought experiment. He does this piling up of goods into n bundles, and other agents comes in and pick up their favorite bundle, and he is basically left with the leftover bundle, and therefore the utility he'll derive is, in worst case, the minimum of it. The minimum of the utility or valuation he's deriving from all these n partitions or all these n bundles, right? So at least in this thought experiment that is true, right? At least he wouldn't achieve less than this particular value. This is the worst possible that can happen with him. So what he does is, his objective is to maximize this particular value. So he want to maximize this particular value over all possible allocation, and let's say A is the set of all possible allocation, and as we've seen, it is of the power n to the power m, right? So what he's doing is he is being risk averse, and he's saying, okay, I know that if I choose to, I pick at the very end, this is the utility or the valuation I'll derive, and I just want to maximize over this. So his allocation, like, so the partition of these m goods which give him this particular value is, let's say, A star. So just to rewrite again in cleaner words, I mean that, let's say, for agent 1, this is, I'm defining, let's say, for agent 1, I'm defining this particular allocation where you have some bundles and he's basically deriving. So this is the thresholding value I'll define it as. So mu I would be the maximum over all possible n partitions you can possibly think of, or this particular agent can possibly think of, and currently I'm defining mu1. And then what happens when he's basically asked to pick at the end of it? So we one of all those bundles, and when he's picking at the end. So it's possible that in the worst case scenario he ends up with the least valued bundle, right? And the allocation which realizes this particular threshold value mu1 is, let's say this particular allocation A1 star. I'll define. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, V1 AI. Yeah. Let's say, okay, let's have a running example so that this is more clear. Let's say, I have some 5 goods, and then I have, let's say, 3 agents. So let's say agent 1, 2, and 3. And let's say this is his valuation function, and we've been assuming additivity all along. So yeah. So just focus on agent A1 for now. So just tell me the allocation which will, so what is his value mu1? What can he at least be sure to get this particular mu1 value if he follow this particular thought experiment? That he comes in, he pile these 5 goods into 3 bundles, and he's picking at the end of it. Like agent, let's say 2 comes first, 3, and then agent 1. So what is the maximum such value we can get in such an allocation? Remember, you need to pile them up in 3 bundles. Yeah, 6. So for 6, what is the A star for him? Yeah, exactly. So G1, G2, G3, and then you have G4, G5. Yeah. So there is no other, and mu1 is therefore 6. So there will be no other, just eyeball it and convince yourself that there will be no other allocation, or there will be no other 3 partition of these 5 goods which will let him achieve a value more than 6, right? So note that in this particular allocation, the value of every bundle here is at least 6, right? This is 6, this is 10, and this is 8, right? And therefore, if he's picked, he picks at last, he achieves a value of 6. Yeah, make all kind of permutations, you wouldn't be able to achieve higher, or at least agent agent 1 wouldn't be able to achieve higher than this. What happens? Yeah, this is just a running example. In this particular case, mu1 is 6. Yeah, in some other case, in identical valuations, we'll see what happens, but yeah. So similarly, let's say agent 2 also does this thought experiment in his head, and he piles these 5 goods in 3 bundles in a way that he maximizes his minimum utility, and therefore it's called maximin share. So what would mu2 would be? Yeah. A little louder. Finding. No, this is a thought experiment. No one has done the allocation yet. This is just happening in the imagination of agent 1. Yeah, it's a thought experiment. It's all happening in his head. Yeah. This is just the threshold values we are defining. Yeah, no allocation has been done yet. Mu2, 6. Okay, let's say if this is the, yeah, exactly. This is the, like, partition. How is it the case that he'll achieve 6? No, he will not, right? Okay, if you're saying says give me a partition where his minimum utility is 6 over that partition. We can check. Yeah, which is anyway not happening here, which is like the proof of proportionality. Yeah. So here, so the way we did it for agent 1, you give me a partition such that he is indeed able to achieve 6. Like when he's choosing or he's picking the bundle at last. He wouldn't be, right? So this is 3. And like you can just see that, okay, even the same thing gives him 3. Like, right? And you can again convince yourself mu2 is 3 and it's not greater than 3. And similarly, what is mu3? 12, exactly. Yeah. So these are the threshold values, and yes, yeah, number of partitions must be 3. Yeah. We are doing an n partition where n is the number of agents in the system. Yeah. So yeah, how are we defining maximum share, or when an allocation is said to be MMS fair, where a single allocation basically let all the players achieve their threshold MMS value. Note that in this particular instance, they can have different allocations, right? But what I want is to have an allocation which achieves threshold value for all agents simultaneously. Right now, he was doing some thought experiment having some A1 star. He was doing some thought experiment and having A2 star in his head, and so on. But I want a single allocation such that every agent gets their threshold value. A single allocation. Right? Okay. So can you again eyeball this particular example only and tell me an allocation which let each of the 3 agents achieve their threshold values 6, 3 and 12 respectively? So you're saying, what can I do? Yeah. It's just they achieve at least this threshold. Yeah. If it's better, it's good. No, what are you? So what is the allocation, or what is the bundle agent 2 is getting? Agent 2. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, perfect. That's it, right? So there we go. We have a allocation where all the agents are able to achieve their threshold value, right? And such an allocation, basically this green allocation, is said to be MMS fair. No, I'm not even going to efficiency at all. Yeah. Yeah. Come again? Multiple allocations can exist. No uniqueness is. I'm not even guaranteeing existence. First of all, this is just an instance. Yeah. Uh, okay. So just tell me what is the proportional value of agent one, like proportional threshold. Remember, proportional fairness and MMS fairness, they both are thresholding notion of fairness. So what is the proportional value for agent 1? Let's say, I don't know, P1. What is the value? So how do I compute it? 1/3. Yeah, 1/3, right? So, yeah, so this is 24 by 8 by 3, which is 8, right? So it's like I'm adding all, so G and M, and dividing by N, the number of agents. So this is 24 by 8, which is 24 by 3, which is 8. Yeah. So note that in this particular allocation is MMS fair, but is not proportional, right? Since agent 1 only, for instance, not getting his proportional fair, which is 8. He's just getting 6. Yeah. So this is instructive of a relation which is proportionality implies MMS, but not the other way around. We'll see a proof of this, but at least I know that MMS does not imply proportionality because this is a counterexample. Okay. So my next theorem is, and possibly the last theorem, would be proportionality implies MMS. By which I mean that if a allocation is proportional, it must be MMS fair as well, right? And obviously all under additive valuations. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So how do I prove this? It's quite simple. So I start, let's say there's this allocation, this particular allocation, which lets agent I achieves its MMS share, right? So this, let's say this particular allocation achieves MMS share for a fixed agent I. MMS share for a fixed agent I. Remember, again note that these locations might be different for different agents. They're just doing all in their head. They might not exist a simultaneous allocation or allocation simultaneously achieving MMS share for all the agents. Right. So I know that at least this is true. Under this particular allocation, I know that V of this, let's say agent is A. VA of, if I just add all of them, yeah, okay. So what do I know about this particular value? So minimum, so agent A computes his value for each of the bundle, and what is the minimum value? What do I know about this particular? How? No, I'm taking minimum. I'm not taking summation. This is minimum. Also note that what is the quality of A1? Yeah, sure. But yeah, it's almost, you're basically giving the proof. But I'm also again on the first step. So what is this again? Again, note that this particular allocation A1 star till AN star is the one which achieves MMS share for this particular agent A. So what in particular I can say about this particular quantity? This is indeed mu I, right? This is okay, the indexing problem you say. No, let's say, yeah, I did the mistake of changing the notation, so let me not do it. Yeah, okay. So I know that this is mu I, right? Because this is the allocation which is letting agent I achieve his or her MMS share. Yeah. Acha, yeah, okay. Oh, I see the point of confusion. Sorry. Yeah, so this is mu I, right? Because this particular allocation is the one which is letting him achieve the threshold value of mu I. Right. So now, like what you said is exactly true. What we do is we just sum it all. So, yeah. So we sum it over all the bundles, and so this again I know is VI of like the whole set M, where M is the set of all M goods, M indivisible goods, right? So this is coming, this particular second inequality is coming from where? Since I have assumed additivity of valuations. Yeah. And I know that each of them, so I know that the minimum is mu I, so I again know that this would be, each of them is at least mu I, so this is at least n times mu I. This is just summing it overall I, overall j, right? So this is okay, right? I know that the minimum one is mu I, and I am just taking sum over all the bundles. Each of them is at least mu I, so the sum would be at least n times mu I, right? Which basically gives me what I want. It says that 1 by nth of, so this particular MMS share or MMS value of agent I is at most his proportional share value, right? And therefore proportionality implies MMS. Or in other words, you can see that we have relaxed the threshold, because now we were first asking for proportional fair share, but now we are just asking for, let's say, even MMS share. We are happy with MMS share, which is a lower threshold. And in this particular sense, we have relaxed our notion of fairness. Okay, so proportional implies MMS, and in particular the thresholding MMS share is at most the threshold of, or at most the proportional share. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So just again to have this particular diagram or this chart in mind, NV freeness implies proportionality, as we have seen. It also implies EF1, because EF1 is a relaxation of NV freeness. You can also create examples and show that proportionality and EF1 are incomparable, and therefore I can't have any comparison. And now I have this another thing, which is proportionality implies MMS, right? And again, an exercise here is to see that if there's any relation between this EF1 and MMS. It can be possible that they again are incomparable. It can be possible that one is stronger than the other, but that is for you to find out. They are incomparable. You can, again, another exercise, construct examples where an allocation is proportional but not EF1, and construct another example where an allocation is EF1 but not proportional and hence incomparable. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You're saying this can't be true or this can't be true? What are you saying? Achha, you're saying this can't be true? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, correct, correct. What about this way though? Yeah, okay, think about that then. Yeah. Yeah. But so we've not really talked about existence of MMS share allocation, which means that a allocation, single allocation A giving MMS share to every agent. And the bad news is it may not always exist. So, so this is a theorem that fair allocations, MMS fair allocations are not guaranteed to exist. Yeah, it's a negative result, I feel, but yeah. So also again, the counter example which shows that how do you show that something is not guaranteed to exist? You construct a valuation, you construct an instance where each agent again has additive valuations, but there's no partition which achieves MMS fair for each agent. So again, this is a very sophisticated example, very weird looking example, but at least it shows, it's a counter example, even though if it's weird, but it shows that MMS fair allocations are not guaranteed to exist. And then people have moved on to come up with approximate MMS shares, and there's a lot of work, and in particular the best one currently is 3/4 MMS share. I think done in 2018 by Goatsy et al. Yeah. So their result is basically they are giving an algorithm, an efficient algorithm to compute an allocation which gives at least 3/4 of MMS share, which means that at least every agent are basically getting 3/4 of mu I. Yeah. So this is the best known ratio or best known approximation known, and it's open to improve the factor 3/4. So the first known was half, and it was improved to 2/3, and now the current is 3/4. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is all I have to talk about. And so yeah, we've seen a bunch of results in the arena of fair division, a bunch of settings, a bunch of landscapes, in particular divisible resources, which was cake, indivisible setting, which we again saw today, and finally indivisible resource with divisible resource, which again is known as Renn division. And we saw a bunch of results, bunch of negative results, bunch of very cool relations, in particular Sperner's lemma, and as Siddharth talked about face-to-face lemma, Brouwer's 6-point theorem, and such. And finally, we also got a glimpse of burnt cake and such. But yeah, I hope you have got an idea of how to go about defining fairness of divisions when you have a bunch of resources, how you define fairness notions. Yeah, okay, thank you.